This is a truly difficult time for the country here in the United States, and I hope everyone is safe and well, both in terms of this pandemic which has played out around the world and also the civil unrest that's going on right now, as people from all walks of life stand up and rise to the challenge of making sure all lives are given the same opportunity in the human family. And you might say to yourself, well, what do I do in this situation? How do I respond? Now, I won't speak to racial injustice, and I won't speak to issues that really are not in the wheelhouse of We First. But what I can do is speak to the role of business in that area, because we all want to show up, both in a personal capacity and in a professional capacity, to make things better, to make our lives better, to make our communities better, to make our country stronger. And to that end, no matter what role you play inside a company, there's several things that you can do. Firstly, in a leadership capacity, you've got to honestly and transparently examine your leadership and say, am I showing up in a way that serves all stakeholders, all people, all races equally? And if you're not, you've got to examine why. Because often we have conscious or unconscious biases. We're doing things implicitly or explicitly that don't solve for these issues, that we compound the issues through action or inaction, because silence can be complicity. And so if your employees, if your company at large follows your example, every one of us as leaders need to examine the role we're playing, the example we're setting, whether you're a solopreneur of a startup at your kitchen table or the CEO of a major corporation. Secondly, in terms of your HR policies, your culture, you need to look at everything you're doing, from how you onboard new employees to who you hire, through to diversity and inclusion. Often diversity does not mean inclusion. Does everyone authentically, legitimately, defensively have a seat at the table? And that's only better for your business because of the diversity of thinking has been proven to lead to innovation and company growth and so on. Thirdly, in terms of your marketing, you need to ask yourself, are you just promoting your products or services? Or are you really in truth a community architect? Are you going out there with your company and your products and services and serving that whole community authentically? And finally, in terms of your impact, how can you, in line with your purpose, show up in ways that will really make a meaningful and measurable difference to all lives, so that everyone has the same opportunity to be on the right side of the prosperity equation? And ultimately, this is only good for your business and all business. Because when people have richer and more abundant lives, when you've got stronger communities, when the country is more prosperous, everyone benefits. And so I challenge all of us at this time, at this very difficult time, to work with each other, for each other. And I'm deeply optimistic that when we do that, there's no problem, however ingrained, that we can't overcome.